Hello everyone, welcome to Sports Insider. I'm Dan Labbe, joined as always by Chris Fedor. We're going to talk all things Cleveland sports today. Mary Kay Cabot will join us to talk Browns, Chargers, TMZ, all sorts of things swirling in Berea. And then of course we'll talk to Paul Hoynes as the Indian season officially will be ending this weekend. They will not be going to the playoffs. We'll look ahead to next season with Paul Hoynes. The Cavaliers season just getting underway. We'll talk about that with Chris Haynes. But first, let's bring on via phone our Browns beat reporter, Mary Kay Cabot. Mary Kay, how are you? We're doing well, Mary Kay, and let's just start with this TMZ story. It came out on Tuesday. Players immediately started to deny it. I know you went and talked to a bunch of the offensive linemen, and they all, denied the story, said it wasn't them. How much stock do you put into that story from TMZ?
Not that anybody would really admit to doing that if they did it. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think everyone is, aware of the fact that you're not going to have everybody in 100% agreement on a football team. There probably is some sentiment for starting Johnny Manziel. But it's just really hard to say, if there were 3 Browns offensive starters 100% certain that went to TMZ and said this thing. I don't know for sure. I don't know that they did or didn't.
In saying that, Mary Kay, obviously you're right. Not everybody is going to agree, and there are going to be some guys that feel like they're more comfortable with Johnny than they are with Josh. But do you sense that there's a divide in the locker room, something that could be problematic moving forward, especially going into this week against San Diego?
I really don't sense that. I mean, I think for the most part that there's been overwhelming support for Josh and for the experience that he brings and what he's able to do in terms of reading defenses and things like that. And I know that everybody was really frustrated that they didn't pull out this game. I think that that has a lot to do with whatever might be going on. They really felt like this was one they should have won. They're heading into a tough part of their schedule. The thing that concerns me a little bit more than anything right now is Josh McCown's hand doesn't look that good to me. And he's really, keeps saying that he's totally fine. He's not limited in practice at all. But, just in looking at that hand yesterday, I think it would be a little bit difficult if he had to play the game today to really get a good grip on that football with that hand.
So Mary Kay, mentioning that locker room, how do you think Mike Pettin has handled all of this with this report and just kind of everything that has swirled around this team really from week one? How do you think he's handled that locker room?
I think he's handled it pretty well. I mean, he addressed it with them briefly yesterday, according to John Greco. He didn't make a really big deal out of it. He wasn't trying to figure out who said it and call guys out or anything like that or demanding that anybody come forward. He just said to them, I can't imagine that anybody actually said this. And, I think he tried to, show faith and probably remind those guys, our door is always open. And, if anybody has a problem with anything, come to us. Don't go to, don't go to the media anonymously, especially, and vent your grievances.
Mary Kay, you have to help me understand the decision to sign Austin Davis, because this is a franchise that has been looking for a quarterback since 1999. And now they have locked up their third-string quarterback. So what is it about Austin Davis that they felt like, hey, we've got to lock this guy up. We can't let him go?
Well, you know what? I think that they're looking at him as a good developmental young quarterback and a talent and somebody that they, wanted to keep around for a while. And, no matter, even if they go out and draft someone or think that Johnny's going to be the starter down the road. You still need other quarterbacks. You still need a quality backup. You don't know, how long Josh McCown will end up actually being here. So I don't think there's too much to it. I think it was just, hey, you know what? We've got the money to keep some good young guys around, and we see something in this guy.
Mary Kay, Mike Pettin said yesterday that even though Ray Farmer's not there, they don't lock the GM, the office to the GM's door. But it's still a little strange that a player signs a contract extension while the GM is on a 4-game suspension. Did that part of it strike you as odd at all?
No, it really didn't, because I know that he was signed on the day that Ray Farmer was suspended, so I'm sure that they had their eye on him, and he was high on their list as somebody that they wanted to acquire before Ray went on suspension, and I'm sure they discussed that if they did get him, that they would try to wrap him up. Like, he's somebody that they've had their eye on last year, so I don't think that they tried to pull a fast one on Ray Farmer. I don't see it that way at all, and I know that Bill Kuharich is in lockstep with Ray Farmer and would, do things that he knows Ray Farmer would do. So I don't think that there's any sort of conspiracy thing going on here.
It's been such a strange season, Mary Kay, with a lot of things happening in Berea when it comes to the Browns, a lot of stuff that Mike Pettin and the players have had to deal with. What's the mood around this team going into this game against San Diego and coming off the loss against Oakland, a team that the Browns probably felt like they should have beaten?
Well, there hasn't been many guys in the locker room to gauge the mood of the team, actually. So, I requested a bunch of guys today, so hopefully we'll get some guys in there today and get a better handle on things. But that's honest to God's truth. There haven't been all that many guys, that you can, really sort of take the pulse of. Now, again, I did talk to 5 offensive linemen the other day, and they were all saying, you know what, hey, these kinds of stories and this kind of controversy all goes by the wayside when you win a football game. And they are very intent on going out and winning this football game in San Diego. And it is a winnable game. San Diego is very beat up. I think they're catching San Diego at a really, really good time. I would have looked at this as an automatic loss before the season, but now I'm starting to look at that San Diego roster, and you see offensive line problems, you're seeing secondary problems, opportunities for Josh McCown to hit some big plays. So, I don't know. I'm starting to think that this is a game the Browns can win.
Mary Kay, a very simple question in the comments before we let you go. Where is Dwayne Bowe?
Well, hopefully he will be in the locker room today. He's one of the guys I requested. You know what? Hey, we're going to meet with John DeFilippo again today, and these guys keep saying that, that it has a lot to do with the hamstring and that he just has not been himself. I think it's part hamstring, and I think it's also part adjusting to a new team, a new city after spending 8 years in one city, and trying to get his sea legs, so to speak, when he can't really get out on the football field to sort of pick up the new offense, the new scheme, get some timing down with the quarterbacks because he hasn't practiced. Guys are rusty when they miss training camp. They just are. I mean, I think you're seeing that in Duke Johnson right now, too. Anybody that misses a bunch of training camp, it takes a while to kind of get it back together, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
All right, Mary Kay Cabot, our Browns beat reporter. Thanks for the time, Mary Kay.
Thank you, guys.